Hello, followers. I'm sorry it's been a few days since I made a video, but as you probably guessed, my life is, as always, crazy. I have been working diligently on my master's thesis, and I am getting ready to turn in my final chapter. I'm so excited I could hardly sit still. I'm actually outside right now, as you could probably tell by the wonderful green trees all around me. But I decided to come outside to do some of my studying, and now I'm taking a little break. So, you've been sending me some interesting ideas for topics to talk about, and I know in the next week I'm going to be doing a video about specifically the eating disorder that I struggled with and sort of my journey with that, because that seems to be something that people are really interested in. But today I wanted to tackle something that wasn't quite so emotional, just so that I can still focus on my studies. So, someone asked me if I would talk about how to deal with people making rude comments about your weight or your appearance, and that's going to be different for every person. Someone specifically asked me, because I'm always talking about riding my bike either on my Facebook or my Tumblr, and forgive me if I'm trying to flash you all. But, and so someone asked me if people ever make comments when I'm riding my bike. And I have to say, since I moved here, nobody really says anything when I ride my bike. I have had people make comments once or twice when I was walking. I like to get out a lot, so I'm always walking somewhere or riding my bike somewhere. And I'm up to 5.5 miles a day on my bike, which makes me super excited, because after winter, after 1 mile, I was like, anyway. So, I've heard people make different approaches, and it kind of depends to me on the comment that's made. And so, if you want some good advice on some comments that you can make, if you're the kind of person that wants to come up with something witty and sarcastic to say back, Marilyn Wan's book that I showed you in my first video, Fat ! So ? Has some really funny things that you can say back to people. I very rarely respond to people, just because I typically don't think they merit a response. If they're that ignorant, I'm not going to speak to them. I usually I make it clear that it doesn't bother me, because I keep going with my head up, and quite frankly, my body is none of their business. But occasionally I have said something to somebody. I was in the line, this has been a few years ago, because this is when I was an undergraduate student. I was in line at the cafeteria, and a guy who was maybe one or two people behind me was like, "Oh, look at that, the fat girl," something like this. I can't remember the exact words. It was something like, "The fat girl got here first, and we better hurry or there won't be any food left." And I don't know, I was in rare form that day. So I turned around and I just looked at him and I said, "I'm sorry. Could you say that a little louder? Because I don't think the whole room heard what an asshole you are." So, like I said, I was in rare form that day. But typically, I don't think, don't let what other people say bother you. I mean, I know that's easy to say, because of the place that I'm in used to it. It really upset me. I remember when I was probably 19 or 20, I can't even remember the comment. I remember the experience. I remember I had to go my mom used to take care of a woman who had Alzheimer's, and they sent me to go pick up her lunch and everything. And so I had the lunch for 4 people, all the people who were living in the home. And I want to say that a big group of boys mooed at me. I mean, that happened to me a lot in my hometown, but I can't remember exactly what they said. But I remember that devastated me. And when I went back to my mom's, I cried for hours. Now, if you say something like that to me, you moo at me, or you snort at me, or you make a comment about my weight, I just assume you're an ignorant jerk. And so don't take anybody else's opinion into mind. I mean, you're beautiful and amazing the way you are. And so if this person can't see that, then they're probably a jerk and therefore not worth your time. But like I said, there are lots of people out there who feel differently and feel like you should say some incredible, witty, sarcastic, snarky remark. But for me, it's just not worth it to give them my time. I can use my time in a lot of other valuable ways. So I hope this answered your question. And please keep sending me questions and comments, and I will, as always, try my best to answer them and be open and honest with you. And stay tuned, like I said, because I will be posting a video about my struggle with an eating disorder growing up, and hopefully that'll be something that can really reach a lot of people, because it's still kind of emotional for me to talk about. But I will do it because I love you. So, yeah, thanks for watching.